Hey everyone,
Hi.
welcome to another episode of Elevated
Talks.
So last week we had a conversation around are you thriving or surviving? And what we did was cover 5 ways you can identify whether you're just surviving or you're at a point where you're ready for the next step. We're calling this episode Taking a Leap of Faith.
Taking a leap.
And I think that for Monique and I, we have done that a couple of times.
Yes.
And we know how hard it is, especially right now being in a pandemic where there's a lot of uncertainty. However, there are people literally getting jobs right before your very eyes. And it's one of those things, if you don't ask for the thing, if you don't speak the thing into existence, it might not ever happen. So you have to
close mouths, don't get fed.
You have to take a leap of faith. So we're gonna start with numero uno.
Number one. I think you should do number one because this is really you. It's really, really you.
Okay, so be clear on your vision.
Yes.
Normally I have a whole layout, I have a whole book that I could show you, but I don't have it with me, and that's fine. Because it'll come in subsequent videos that we do. But you have to know the thing that you want to accomplish and be able to see it. So there are folks who want to, let's say, become a writer and intend on making that their profession. So the question is, what are you writing down on paper to say that you want to be a writer? And what kind of writer do you want to be? And what things are you doing right now to be a writer? Because I think that sometimes we get so caught up in vision boards, and you put all these various things down on paper, or you put it on this big board and you say, this is what I want, ta-da. But there's some work you have to do behind the vision. So if you want the new position, if you want to work in a specific organization, if you want the new career, then my questions to you is, how are you writing that down and making it plain? And then also, like what we call in education, backward designing. What are you identifying that you need to accomplish in order to get to that vision? So if it's a new position that has nothing to do with what you're currently doing now, what skills are you identifying that you have that is relatable to the position you want? Who can you contact in terms of, like, sometimes it's just about cold calling and leveraging your social media to find people that you can connect with. Or it's a matter of just creating opportunities for yourself. Like, you don't have to wait for people to create the opportunity. How are you doing things right now, even in a pandemic, showing your sense of resilience and creating space in which you're like a thought partner, a leader, or someone who's just changing the game in that industry?
That's why I told she needed to do number one. See, she is the vision queen.
Everything is a vision. Every single thing. Everything
queen.
Is a vision.
Expertise.
Yeah.
Number 2, find a thought partner, someone who could give you guidance, that can be transparent, a supportive, listening ear who can contribute to what you're trying to do. You need, especially when you're about to take a leap of faith, you need people in your corner who are supportive, who aren't going to put fear in you.
Fear.
Because they are scared.
So that's important what Monique just said, because sometimes you need to identify, you got to categorize people. We all have people that are close to us, friends, but I'm going to be real honest, you have to categorize your friends, because there are some people who are just the Debbie Downers, who don't recognize your gifts, don't understand your drive. And every time you're saying, oh, I want to change, they're judging you. They're criticizing you. And some of it is like Monique said, their own personal fear of not knowing how to get to the next place, and seeing themselves at a deficit. So they project that onto you.
Yes.
Just out
so
there.
Be careful who that thought partner is. Someone of value. That's a whole nother thing. Number 3.
So number 3 is around financially planning for your exit strategy or taking that leap of faith. So I'm going to say, even for myself, in this time that I've been out of work, y'all see me everywhere and doing all type of things. But one of the things folks haven't really seen me do is the work that I have with a coach. So I literally meet with a coach every single week. And what it comes down to, I had to invest in myself, because it's not just a coach for education. It's a coach for me to identify what I have in terms of the things that I've already created, the passions that I have, the skills. Like, there's sometimes you don't even recognize who you are as a person and what you're capable of doing.
That's very true.
So you have to go to a coach, someone who, in a sense, can mentor you, but you pay them. Because sometimes the other thing is that you go to a mentor and they're kind of comfortable and they may be able to push you, but is your mentor in a position of being in the place that you want to go to? Because I've had mentors who, like, in education, but then what happens when, like, I'm speaking internationally? What happens, like, when I'm writing books and my mentor hasn't necessarily done that? Can they still cultivate me outside of keeping me grounded? Can they now tell me how I could take myself to the next level? So investing in myself and getting a coach is something that I'm going to say to you. If you want to get to that new place, you have to seek coaching or mentorship. And they could be one and the same, but just don't be afraid to pay someone, and don't be cheap with yourself. Because if you're willing to invest in the bag and the shoes for the new job, but you're not willing to invest in the skills and the planning that you need to do in order to get to the new job, I mean, is it really worth it to have the shoes in the bag?
Think on that. That's real talk. It's real talk. Okay. And actually, 3 and 4 do mix us. 4 is mentorship. And so, speaking to that, finding a mentor also can be helpful as well. And sometimes, as Nadia was sharing, you might have various mentors. And I heard you say, I don't know what it was, I was watching, how sometimes we think about mentors are supposed to be lifetime. You're like, no, they don't have to. They may be to get you through a particular season, so think about that. Sometimes you just need the mentor for that moment of taking the leap, and then you find somebody else once you get to that next level. So don't think you only need one person, or I need to find this one person who has all these things. Mentors come in various sizes and shapes. Basically, you can utilize mentoring in all stages, not just one, and not just for the entire time.
And what we've done, we actually we remixed what mentoring is, especially when it came to our scholars, because we found that people were just like, oh my God, do I have to spend my entire day and like months and years? And it was just like, no, actually, if you came in once, right, for 2 hours, just being there for 1 or 2 hours is a sense of mentorship for this child who may needed that inspiration, that word of encouragement. So again, leveraging social media, that you might reach out to someone who may impart some information that you may have never known, give you some nuggets that can help you make some connections, provide you with resources. Think about mentoring in a remixed way, not like, I want this person to be in my life for the next 40 years.
Yeah. Because, it's a new day. Things are different now. Things are different. And
the last thing that we said was having faith and trusting the process. And so sometimes you just have to step out on faith and believe in yourself and understand you were created by a higher power, and that everything that you want will be taken care of and will come to fruition. And trusting the process is sometimes things don't always seem like, it's illuminated and your steps have been like successfully ordered because you can't see the thing. But if you don't step out on faith, you'll never know what's on the other side. So you have to trust yourself and trust the process.
That's it. That was number 5.
That was number 5. So we want to just recap really quickly for you. What are the things that you need to do in order to make sure that as you're trying to thrive and step into the new chapter of your life, that you also understand that it's about taking that leap of faith. So number 1 is about being very clear with your vision. And although I don't have my vision book with me, what I'm going to share with you, it's important, is writing every single thing down. Like every single thing Monique and I meet about, my coaches and I meet about, that has to do with my vision, I write it down. And then also making sure that you have a planner. You have a planner. So my planner allows me to see dates and times of accomplishing the things that I want, but then everything that I want to accomplish, as you can see here, is written in different colors because I meet with different people.
Your
You know,
whole
like that, I'm
system.
sorry.
Whole system.
But that's it.
And number 2 was find your thought partner. Number 3 was make sure you're financially prepared, planning, invest in yourself. And number 4 was mentorship. And number 5 was have faith. Have faith. Trust the process.
So we hope that this was helpful for you. We hope that you can walk away feeling empowered, inspired, and of course, elevated. Because we are always about learning, leading, and leveraging.
Yes, absolutely.
And taking you to the next level. So until next time.
Until next time.